It's dangerous to go alone. Take this.
And welcome to the realm of geekdom. This is nerd breaking news. It is a brand new day because the new Spider-Man trailer has hit. Before we get to our reaction, make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you don't miss an episode. So we already all got the opportunity to see this. Let's go ahead and get to those reactions. Ego, we'll start off with you.
Okay, listen, I think that the trailer was great. It revealed a lot of the things that we were wondering. First of all, we see that Zendaya, she's MJ and her character is back, and so is what's his dude's name?
Ned.
Ned. Thank you. They're back, and obviously they don't remember anything, and Spidey's struggling, right? Like he's the only one who has the memories of what happened before that, but they don't know him. And eventually he can hold himself, and he's kind of like introducing himself into them. We see how that goes. In terms of the good thing about it, I'll say it first. I love the fact that I so far in this trailer I didn't see anything related to Tony Stark, which is good. However, that doesn't mean that it eventually will lead up to Doomsday. We know that that's going to happen, but at least for now, we have a Spider-Man story where Tom Holland is, focusing on the day-to-day stuff of what Spidey does. He's living in New York. There's a lot of bad guys going left and right, and he's just trying to handle right. I'm Spider-Man, but at the same time, right in this version, I don't have any friends. We know what happened to Aunt May. She's not there anymore. So what I noticed is that this is a very struggling Spider-Man, right? Like he's probably mourning still the fact that he doesn't have Aunt May. He still has the memory of whatever happened before, but everybody else that he has memories of do not recognize him. They know who Spider-Man is, but they don't know who Peter Parker is.
Mhm.
Then in terms of I think we're missing a little bit more of the 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 bad guys that are gonna show up in the movie. But so far we got kid. What's the name of the guy who showed up? Who he threw the web on his gun?
Punisher?
Punisher. The
He,
Punisher showed
he's
up.
he's an anti-hero. He's not really a villain. He's not really a
Yeah,
hero. He's in the middle.
yeah. The only one that kind of showed up was Scorpion, and we got to see an actual
The hand,
still of him out there.
the hand. También,
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah. So far for being the first trailer, I like it. I just think that we need to see who second trailer who else they're gonna reveal. But so far I think it's gonna be a movie. I think the CGI looks great. I think that if there was ever something to worry about, I think the movie's gonna be great for one reason only. This is leading to Doomsday, so we're probably gonna see a lot of
Mhm.
characters that are going to show up and we're going to be surprised like, why is this character doing it? But that's what Marvel does, right? Like at the end of the movie
Yeah.
they're going to throw you off and they're going to be like, hey, this character is showing up, and you're like, what? Well, it's leading up to the so yeah, that's my take.
Yeah, and then one of the things that you said about, him struggling emotionally, I think that's an amazing aspect that they're trying to build of having no friends around, no family around, no mentorship, no nothing. He's on his own. We finally see Spider-Man doing his Spider-Man thing, and we're getting this more a street level kind of like vibe, which is everything we always wanted. Right, that's what we want. This is how we could build Tom Holland to be one of the better Spider-Mans, if not the best Spider-Man for the kids in this generation. The problem that I have is that it really feels like it's a filler film. We're building up on the fact that there's not only that emotional struggle, but he's also going through a change himself in his DNA, which is the reason why he goes to talk to Banner. And there's one scene where you see him break the sword, his eyes turn black, which obviously is meaning that we're gonna get that Mind Spider arc built in this. So it's gonna be. I feel like it's gonna be a pretty cool aspect that they're probably gonna have Spider-Man kind of lose control because he's struggling not only biologically but also emotionally, and everything's falling apart for him. And he could lead to be maybe being the bad guy himself and having all these heroes that we're seeing, anti-hero like Punisher or the Hulk trying to stop him, right? And that's cool. But for one film, I think it should have done more. The problem I have also with this is that there is just too much MJ and Ned in this film. I mean, in this trailer, right? First impression, last impressions are the most important thing in everything we see. And the first impression that we get is him looking at videos of Ned and MJ. He's reminiscing and then he's coming across them in multiple times. And then the last scene that we get, it's him giving flowers. They're neighbors all of a sudden. Like, why was that the emphasis of having that be your main? Because that's how it felt. Like, this is what you wanted to emphasize. We have the cool little man spider in the middle, but it feels all of a sudden like that's secondary to what's going on. And that I don't really like. Kid.
Um, I guess let's start from the beginning. So Spidey's looking at the social media posts of Ned and MJ MIT. That could be a flashback, right? Because it's 4 years later from the last Spider-Man film, so they're 22 presumably at the time. So it can't be they just got into MIT. But it's probably like a flashback to what he's been doing the last 4 years for the audience. Um, Here's, I guess, starting with that, right? Then you see him jumping and all that stuff. Here's what the things I'm gonna give you the things I liked, and overall I like the trailer. But here's the things that I like the most about it. He's broke. He's going through the struggle. He doesn't have the bougie technology that Iron Man gave them. He's going through the struggle of the previous Spider-Mans went through in comic book lore and all that stuff. So that we appreciate that. We appreciate the fact that it's literally New York. It's a damn tank in the middle of the city. That's pretty cool. There's a lot of cool comic book imagery that he does throughout the trailer that are reminiscent of covers of previous comic books. We have very obscure characters showing up in this trailer, right? We have Scorpion's not exactly a household name, but we saw the actor previously in Homecoming, so he's coming back to reprise the role. You saw the Hand. The Hand is a villain of Daredevil. Tarantula. I forgot the other guy, Professor. The other guy, the Tarantula's guy. Damn.
Is this Tarantula?
I forgot the other dude. Anyways, there was another guy in there. Yeah, Jesus. So you're going on the bag of obscurity of Spider-Man. Man Spider was always a cool storyline in the animated series. Anybody who grew up with that, so I have much appreciation to that. If you noticed that when he's the cocoon, right, and he's falling down, it's kind of reminiscent of Spider-Man 2. When he falls down, he's like, my back, and he loses his powers. Think about it. Go look at the trailer again. When he's falling down from the cocoon, how is he getting back up with the organic webs? The prison, right? It's holding somebody. I think that's Jean Grey's character. Whoever Sadie Sink is playing, that's probably the best way I could put it. Because we don't know if it's Jean Grey. But they're holding somebody there, and I'm assuming it's her. The mind control element, that's cool. When the old lady crashes with the car and transfers to the military guy, and then it transfers to the guy upstairs, that could be Mr. Negative. I don't think that's Jean, because the thing with that, if you look at the trailer again, it makes a sound when it transfers for the other person. And Jean doesn't do that.
It does.
So I'm like, yeah, that's probably not Jean. As much as I don't like Ned and MJ in this film, because I feel like we're going backwards. I feel like we're remembering how bad the trilogy was. It's not for me. I think the majority of the people are going to get emotional when they see throughout the film Peter is going to try to reconnect with them. So, he's stalking them. He lives next to them. He wrote a letter, right? You can see when he's writing the voice and my name is Peter Parker and all that stuff. At the end, when he gives the flowers, it's a homecoming neighborly gift. He's going to try throughout the film to say who he is. It's gonna work out. It's gonna be emotional. It's not for me. I get it. I just think that was the only thing negative for me. If you take away MJ and Ned, it's an A trailer. Um, but again, it's Spider-Man. It's gonna make money. It's the brand name. I don't think I'm missing anything else for now at the moment. But I'll let the professor cook.
All right. So when you're looking at the Into the Spider-Verse series, they mentioned that every Spider-Man goes through canon events. And I don't think that was a coincidence because it was also referenced to a certain degree. And I think it was No Way Home, the idea that there are certain things for Spider-Man that are just destined to happen. And if you go back, most nerds had a problem with Tom Holland because they felt like, especially the first two movies, weren't necessarily Spider-Man. They were someone else. And a big part of that is because he wasn't going through typical Spider-Man experiences. And the thing is that when you're looking at what No Way Home became, it kind of, the ending of the last arc of it shifted his character more so towards the Spider-Man that we know. But now when you're looking at what this movie does, it's not a coincidence that this version of the character is going through so many different iterations of things that happen to so many different Spider-Men. You've got animated series references, you've got Amazing Spider-Man references, you've got Tobey Maguire references, and that's just what you've seen in the trailer. At the same time, it's also very clear that they've connected it to what's happening in the Daredevil series that no one watches. If folks did watch it, a lot of this would make a lot more sense to them because they stop and be like, "Oh, that's interesting." So the thing is, when you put all this together, you see the makings of what we would call a plan. And what Marvel could be criticized for fairly is that oftentimes they don't really have a plan for what they're doing for most of their characters. But here it's very clear they have a plan for Punisher, a plan for Spider-Man, and probably a plan for the Hulk. And I think on top of it too, we should also consider what the plan for MJ and Ned would be as well. It makes sense to tell a story where Spider-Man is mourning the loss of his own best friends, especially when we know that we're going to have a story with him in the symbiote outfit very, very soon. Now, the traditional way of looking at the story is the symbiote messes with his temperament, right? How the symbiote makes him angry and all of a sudden he's beating people up, yada, yada, yada. Going back into comic book lore, there's a reason why the symbiote is black and white. The reason why it's black and white is because when he's making the costume, he's thinking about Spider-Woman's black and white costume. And that's how he gets it. In this case, what if when he makes a symbiote, he's thinking about Frank? And what if, because he's thinking about Frank and what he's learned from Frank, the idea that some of these villains really do need to die. When you add that to his temperament and you put the symbiote on him and he gets even stronger, you're talking about a dangerous dude. So the arc of this character is leaning towards one where he literally does become that menace that everyone's actually afraid of. And if you go back to the comic books, MJ has a particular fear of Peter in the black suit. She's terrified of it for years. Now you're cooking with grease. And that's probably the reason why MJ is actually there, because his motivation to actually take it off is to get MJ. That's the entire point of him changing his way of being Spider-Man to begin with. But now, talking about what's interesting, what if he takes it off and he still has the anger problems? Because ultimately, the issue is him. Isn't that interesting?
I don't think they're going symbiote, Professor. I think they're going man spider, and that's how he gets his.
Well, sure. But what I'm saying is we have a Secret Wars movie coming.
Yeah.
So you're going to get man spider in this movie, absolutely. But you're going to get a black suit very soon.
I don't think it's this film.
It's not. It's not at all. But what I'm talking about are character arcs.
Okay.
What's happening is folks are like, why are these characters in here? Because of the arc. At the end of the day, you can't tell a story of him having loss without seeing who he's losing. That doesn't work. You can't, like, all of it ends up being hypothetical. As a viewer, you stop and you're like, well, I didn't like MJ. She's not here. Get over it. You're not going to care that he cares about a character you can't see. You need him to see what he's losing. That's the thing. On top of it, too, when you're looking at arcs, the way the story is supposed to go with Spider-Man and his love interests, He's supposed to be the negative one. They're supposed to be the high ones.
Yeah.
This is the actual opportunity to tell that story. So the thing is, when you're looking at it, not in terms of what you want to see, but in terms of good storytelling and where the character's supposed to go to get him from where he is to where the character needs to be to make money and to also grow, they're probably making the right choices. Because there's one thing about Spider-Man that I think we can all agree on. Marvel has no idea how to keep Spider-Man as an adult. They've never successfully done it, ever. They married him, they got rid of the marriage. Had him have a kid, got rid of the kid. They don't know how to keep him as an adult. This is probably their last chance for a long time to be able to figure that out. And the relationship that he has with Zendaya is their ability to do that in a way that the fan base may actually accept one day. Yeah, people might hate it now, but Marvel fans hate everything when it first comes out. Then 5-10 years later, oh my God, it was the best thing ever.
No, I think it's the opposite.
What do you
mean? I think it's the opposite online. I think MCU fans, anything that comes out. You remember when Thunderbolts came out? We were the rare people going like, it's all right.
That's not true. Because look at how much people were saying it wasn't going to make any money, and it didn't. People were talking about how much money it didn't make. People didn't love it until a couple months later.
Things. Box office, because people got tired of the MCU, but Trader Watch, those MCU fans eat slop, bro. It could be anything. Oh, She-Hulk is on. I'm watching She-Hulk.
People did not like, again, people did not like She-Hulk. You know people didn't like She-Hulk. Why are we doing this? You know people didn't like She-Hulk. You know it. Let's not.
You put a plate of slop. MCU. Oh, Miss Marvel. I'm watching that.
We know people didn't like Miss Marvel. What are we doing here? You know that's not true. Why are we saying things you know that's not true?
MCU fans eat whatever the hell the MCU.
That's what DC fans say. But the truth is,
we criticize everything. No.
But the truth is
different.
When you're looking at most people out there,
you guys hate everything already.
Correct. We're good.
What I'm saying is that's revisionist history, because let's go back in time and you can pick a character, and I would say of all the characters in the MCU, at least more than half of them have gone through a hate period. More than half.
I'll tell you some people who have not. I'll tell you people who have not gone through hate periods.
It's going to be short.
Bucky.
True.
Scarlett Johansson.
Not true.
You love her from day one.
That's not true.
Black Panther, I think.
Oh, T'Challa, of course. Woo.
Yeah.
People love that man. Good call with T'Challa.
It's getting hard, isn't it? Thor
got destroyed. Hulk got destroyed.
About his eyebrows, I remember.
Who?
His eyebrows. Why has he got blonde eyebrows? He looks stupid. Remember?
No, I just think it was
why has he got the wig? He looks stupid.
The Ragnarok era, like and Love and Trash, that ruined Thor.
Sure.
And then Mark Ruffalo's been getting dogs since day one.
That's what I'm saying. Your list stopped at 3.
Iron Man.
Iron Man, yeah.
Tony Stark was Nick Fury. People love Nick Fury from day one.
People love Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah.
I don't even count. 4.
They do.
But when your list stops at 4 in a universe with so many characters, that tells you something.
No, you're right, because Falcon got destroyed.
I don't even like Falcon.
The new Falcon got destroyed. Daddy Ramirez.
People hate him. He didn't even do anything yet. They hate him already.
Because people know he can't act. We can see it. that's the problem.
Give him a chance. But they won't. So what I'm saying is, again, part of the problem is the internet. People have all these theories, myself included, and when their theory doesn't come true, the whole thing is bad. They get mad at the whole thing. No. At the end of the day, none of us are paid to write these movies, okay? We know what's cool, but we don't write 2-hour movies, okay? It's hard. I'm sure it's difficult to write a 2-hour movie to keep people engaged, okay? People are like, Bucky should have been Captain America. Okay, how? Guess what? In the comics, they couldn't even make that work for a long time because it doesn't work. It doesn't work.
No, the thing with that one, dude, the thing with that one is that we saw Falcon and we saw Bucky and we're like, okay, a steak and a potato. What do you want to eat, bro?
That's fair. But at the end of the day, what story do you want to watch? There is no story.
Give me that steak.
No one wants to watch that. There's no story.
Look at the show.
Here's how I see it. Like I understand what you're saying with like the whole overall story arc, and I think that's great. But when you're putting out this trailer, your emphasis is specifically on MJ and Ned. You're completely negating everything that happened in the last film. Like this is a film where it's going to be grittier. It is going to be street level. This is the opportunity for Spider-Man to become the Spider-Man, right?
Yes.
And he needs to stand alone. He can't be kind of having these people around, constantly kind of being like the main storyline, because that's
Well-
exactly how the trailer presents it.
And
That
you're
is gonna be
totally
the main
right.
storyline, and that's going to take away, in my opinion, of Spider-Man trying to be that standalone hero who has nobody, like he kind of reverting to like that character we all know.
Well, here's my question. With great power comes great responsibility, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's he responsible for?
Protecting the city.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean anything.
Something he should be doing
This
instead of
isn't
looking at
DC.
social media.
Like in DC, that's why DC.
The whole point is that they're gonna show the struggle, right? And him making the decision. What is he gonna choose? Is he gonna choose
Yes,
like
that's fine.
We saw Tobey Maguire did that
But you're
same
not-
decision in the first one when he rejected Mary Jane, and the second one he was broke.
Mhm.
Everything was going negative for him.
Yeah.
And what happened at the end of the last one, the second one, which is the best Spider-Man film not named Into the Spider-Verse? What happened to that film? He literally said, "All right, MJ's getting married. I'm in my room alone." Was he crying? Was he looking at social media? Was he going to? No. He was like, "All right, I gotta go do Spider-Man." Mary Jane came, left the wedding, kissed him, and what's the first thing he did when they're kissing? Sirens. I gotta go be Spider-Man, even though I finally got the girl.
Mhm.
Right.
Tom Holland refuses to grow up. He's still
But why
that
are you-
little kid, bro.
But why are you assuming that he pursues MJ? The trailer showed you that they're pursuing. No, but listen.
The last
trailer
scene,
showing you.
Bro.
What?
that last scene,
Correct.
What do you mean?
flowers, really?
Yeah.
You
it's
telling
a
me that
housewarming.
he's not pursuing her he's giving her flowers?
we don't know if it's gonna work
don't
out.
know
We
that.
don't know.
He's such a weak
But he's-
Spider-Man, man. He's such a weak Spider-Man.
But the thing is, when you're looking at it, they're next door neighbors, right? And they confirm
Why?
they're next door neighbors. Now it's a house party, isn't it?
We
But
don't
it's
know.
not
If that's
It looks
basically-
like one.
we don't know.
And
if
that's the
a
problem.
sneak
That's the
peek.
problem right there. Like you're just bringing MJ and Ned into becoming the main storyline instead of focusing on his actual struggles.
But what I'm saying is that is the struggle. Like you can't.
Shouldn't it
it's
be
fine.
Shouldn't it be the metamorphosis that he's doing could be Man Spider? Shouldn't
But that's how the
that be
metamorphosis
main focus?
exists. But that's how the metamorphosis exists. The metamorphosis exists because he's under extreme stress. He's going through it. So his powers are going all over the place. There has to be a reason for him to go through it.
He's broke.
Yeah,
Broke
that's
nobody and
everyone's
everything
broke.
like that.
It's a bad
He's
Give
broke.
us
economy.
the broody,
broke.
give us the broody Spider-Man. You know, like
Yeah,
haven't been
there's
chasing like a sad puppy dog.
But
Correct.
the thing is that what I'm saying is that when you're looking at the comic books and you're looking at the actual dynamic, MJ is far more aggressive of a personality than he is.
Correct.
So the
Right.
thing is, it makes more sense for her to be pursuing him. That's the thing. So when you're looking at it, he's trying to do the responsible thing, and she's like, no, because she doesn't even know what it is.
No, he's not trying to be responsible. He's checking up on them. Who like
Mhm.
4
Yeah,
years later,
that's-
who did that? Hey,
but
remember
again,
But
that's
but
conflict.
Professor is right. What if it's MJ in this case actually pursuing him?
Where in the
Oh,
trailer? Where in the trailers there evidence that that's actually happening?
okay, we
You
need a second
literally
Because
trailer,
in the
guys.
trailer, what I
Relax.
saw was Peter Parker
That's
in a
true.
room in a party, looking over at MJ, who's getting hit on by another guy.
Because he
And
has
you
the
could tell
memories,
he's
of
all right
course.
there.
That's the
Then there's
struggle.
another scene, the last scene, you see him coming with the flowers, giving her, and he's like, "Who the hell are you?"
Yeah, but because
So for me, it's like, how is she chasing him?
I'll explain.
You know, that's a good assumption and all, but that's not what the trailer's telling us.
Go ahead.
It
And
Bruce.
that's
is.
what we're looking at.
Go
And
ahead,
that's
Bruce.
what
I'll
we're
tell you.
reacting to.
So when you're looking at the wall, they have all these photos of Peter Parker of Spider-Man on the wall. They're
Correct.
clearly trying to figure out who this man is.
Yes.
Mhm.
And now
I-
remember, they have a next door neighbor who they don't know. It makes sense for them to put it together. Maybe it's the next door neighbor. Let's go check it.
No.
Why not?
I think it's a void or it's something mental. It can't.
Well, okay,
it
kid.
can't be.
Ned Leeds. What's Ned Leeds' job in the comic? What's his job?
I don't know what is it.
Private investigator.
So now, first of all, they don't follow comic books, the MCU. First of all, so you have to take that.
One of the greatest
But what I'm
characters.
saying-
Yeah, what are
his
the odds?
secret identity is going to be
But
outdone
you're missing-
by
you're
a
missing my
private
point.
investigator.
But you're missing my point. My point is that the MCU is doing what DC Comics always does. You end up bending a character towards what modernity needs, and then at a certain point, you bend it back to what tradition is. So when you're looking at the start of it, and actually a lot of MC movies have done this, where all of a sudden the character reverts back to their original version. Yeah, it makes sense for them to make a modern version in the first 3, then to bend everything back to a traditional way. So you have Ned as PI, MJ as model. It makes sense.
Well, to your point, to be objective as we strive to be, MJ, look at the way MJ looks now, as opposed to MJ looked like in Homecoming.
It sounds like exactly what I told you on the last version of this.
She's looking different now. She's actually because unfortunately when Homecoming, she's a nerdish kind of girl, and now you can tell with the way she dresses, the way she looks, and that stuff. No, that's valid.
Right.
If Ned is a private investigator, I'm walking out.
And then also, where does MJ work in the thing? A flower shop, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So then what ends up happening is Peter, because okay, look at it like this. She invites him over. He don't know what to bring, but it's a housewarming. He has to bring something. What a conflict is that? Should it be romantic? Should it not be romantic? I can't get back with her. What should I do? Oh my God. Because the conflict is the story. That's what storytelling is.
But the problem that me and TK have, guys, is that the problem is that we remember how bad the trilogy is, first of all. He wasn't Spider-Man in those trilogies. He got outshined by the real Spider-Mans in the last one. And then we're like, wait a minute. So you're Mary Jane, his wife, his aunt. His aunt died, which is insane because she's usually there. She dies.
She's died in the comics too.
Not in the movies. She dies, and that's a choice the MCU did. I'm not hating on that. I'm just saying, I'm factually saying she dies. That's a huge thing for him to go through. I'd rather him go through his aunt and his uncle both dying for the first time in the cinematic and film than him crying over Ned and this girl, because unfortunately, the way the last one ended, I thought we were going to have adult Spider-Man. I thought we were going to get a 20-something-year-old man. This guy's still a kid. He's still that punk kid that I'm like, dude, can you grow up?
The trailer literally tells you about life cycles. The trailer literally says that growth is a process.
Grow up.
It's a process. Here's the part that I don't understand, and I'm going to drop this bomb right here. You all have spent years complaining that he is not an accurate Spider-Man. They make an actual effort to give you an accurate Spider-Man, and now the points where it might be accurate are a problem.
No, because that's not MJ. That's
because she's black?
No, it's not because she's black. It's because it's been confirmed that she's not MJ. It's Michelle.
You literally you just said that she's starting to present herself differently.
Aesthetically, but
what makes her MJ? What would make her MJ to you?
That's still not the character.
What would make her MJ to you? That's my question to you.
Well, the whole thing in reality, man, is just the simple fact that it's a crowded film. There's a lot of things going on. And just adding MJ and Ned into all of this and having him chasing him like a sad puppy, for me, just doesn't feel like this is the Spider-Man that you're trying to metaphors into, the one that we're talking about that everybody reverts to. All right. So that's kind of how we feel. Like, let's see him kind of do this on his own, like every other Spider-Man's done. And instead, he's over here with Hulk and Punisher, all these people, and then you're throwing in MJ and Ned at the same time. It's crowded. It is very crowded, and again, they could have done it differently. But that's just the trailer right now. We don't know what the second one is. They may reveal something else that would change all of our opinion. So tell us what you guys think. Let us know in the comments. So thank you for tuning in. Whether you side with me and the kid or the professor Diego, keep your fandom alive and your warp drive engaged. Until next time, fellow nerds, this is Nerd Breaking News.